Hare Krishna, Dandavad. Jai Nitai, Hare Krishna. Jai Gauranga, right on time, very good.
What?
Sevarupa.
And back pranams.
No. Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And
Govinda, Govinda, Govinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Guru Garanga, Guru Garanga, Guru Garanga.
Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai.
Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. Well, we have a very smart looking Abhinava Sundaru, and ever smart looking, of course, Krishna Kanto. Sorry, KKDD 1 or 2. I do not know, but there we are. So please excuse me. Then we have our very, what can I say? Prompt. I'll say today prompt for Jai Gauranga Prabhu, because he does tend to join us a little way in. Today, he's joined us at the very beginning. So our Australian delegation and Rupanuga Prabhu also. So Rupanuga Prabhu, welcome. So all the way from Australia through South Africa, Seva Rupa Devidasi and her sister and her family were here yesterday, and through all the way through to Brazil. And in Brazil, we have lots of devotees in the middle of the night, including Sri Hari Prabhu, Leela Shakti Devi Dasi, Leela Mohin Prabhu, and Vrindavaneshwari Devi Dasi, and Rasamoy Didi, Andresa.
Anu Krishna.
I know, Anu Krishna. And Govinda Priya Devi Dasi. And I just slipped my mind because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Govinda Priya Devi Dasi and almost Tasyana. Yes, okay, Tasyana. Please excuse me. It's very early in the morning. I did have a shower, but I didn't have a cold shower, so I'm not as awake as I would be if I'd had a cold shower. Hare Krishna. And Ananda Leela did it also there. And in the middle, means Europe, we have Udaran Prabhu and only Udaran Prabhu. But I know Chintamani Devidas is around because I've heard the footsteps. So she's around. And Gangalila Devidasi in USA, Dhanake in USA, Narottam Nitai Das. And Marianne also in USA. So this is our beginning point. And Victoria, back to Victoria with us too in USA, I think, but I may be wrong. I keep like 3 in the morning, it's a bit early. Okay, dear devotees, very welcome. And I do have Facebook on, but it's, oh yes, it's showing live. So let's see if anyone's with us on Facebook. Oh, Priya Bhakti Prabhu also there. And Mathura Basini, Devidasi, Jagamohini, Devidasi, Madhava Prabhu, and each of them sending obeisances. And no doubt that's to all of us. So welcome to everyone. Let us begin happily in the association of so many devotees. And begin with Vandeham, Omagyana, Namo Maha, and Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. In fact, we're going to say Vanchakalpatarubhyascha first because we are with all the devotees. We've greeted each other. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Everybody who's with us on Facebook, on Zoom, and who are seeing us also on the recorded version, our obeisances to you all. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Yes, okay, twice is better than no times, isn't it? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You may have to give me 1 second. Whose feet I heard that actually 2 Colombians just on their way, leaving now to go to India. Please give me a second. I just need to give my obeisances. Praneshri Didi, you are the MC. Please, you keep everybody in Krishna Katha just for a moment. Give me a moment. I'll be back.
Sorry, Didi, you're muted. We couldn't hear anything that you said.
Ah, very good, very good. MC means, in my case, milking cows, because we provide a shloka and then he thrives and expands and gives so much out of one shloka. That's the meaning of MC. I'm very happy for all of those offerings that were sent. I cried with most of them. It was just like, wow, so very deep and beautiful feelings. So very special. Very, very nourishing. It's a pleasure and it's a blessing to have your association. I have to mention, because it was very, very special, Kelika Dan Banana offering. Here was exquisite. I cried and I cried and I cried because it was just, Gurudev was there. Gurudev was there. She was writing, thinking of Gurudev and expressing those feelings towards Śrīla Madhusūdan Mahārāj. So it was very sweet, very beautiful. And each one of you reflected something that you have in your hearts. Even those who have not taken the step and have not accepted Śrīla Madhusūdan Mahārāj as Guru yet, because I know it feels, it shows that is coming. The writing was so deep, so sweet, and so special. And here I have to mention especially our very shy, but very sweet Dana Kay. When I read it, I was just like, wow, she's a devotee. Definitely. So very sweet, so very special. Dandavad Mahārāj.
Dandavat. So that was Dayal Nitai and Lalita Sundari Devirasi just heading off to India for Kartik. It is already, oh no, yes, they're going for Kartik. It's a little bit early, but there we are. They're enthusiasts. So there they are. They were here for the festivals. So we're seeing them off, and Gadadhar Pandit Prabhu is their driver.
Okay.
All
He
right.
surprised us so much when he was in one of the classes with you, and he provided a shloka that everyone was just like, what? So nice.
And then when he got through it with few drops of sweat pouring off his brow, we all clapped as well, because he was struggling to catch it. Anyway, he does very well. And yeah, he does very well. And we're very happy to have him here. He's here with his wife and young daughter. All right. Well, I think we should start in the Far East. I'm not sure how capable I am to talk coherent Harikatha this morning, because we had a late night yesterday and all sorts of things going on over here in London, where we are still. And well, a little bit of news. I mean, it was the 9th anniversary festival of the deity of Mahaprabhu and Giriraj coming here to West London. And many of you may have seen some of it or all of the program. I don't know. I don't even know how much was broadcast. But we had a beautiful morning program, early morning program, as we do every day, everywhere. And then the day program, afternoon program, then they went on Harinam Sankirtan, then evening program, and then post-evening program with the devotees, and means after prasadam, with the devotees also in the evening for quite a while. And because many of them, some of them, like we just now, some are going, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but they're going to the airport now to take the flight. So, I mean, some, they've come for this festival, and their time is valuable. When you're somewhere just for a few days, your time is valuable. And this does remind me of one devotee who, when Guru Mahārāj, Śrīla Guru Mahārāj, when he passed away, when he disappeared from this world, then of course the news goes around the world, and then one devotee who runs his own business, then he immediately wanted to come to India, to come to give the honor to Guru Mahārāj and to be there at this time after Śrīla Guru Mahārāj had departed. And so when he got the news, he frantically got someone looking after all his business affairs so that he could be free and get on the plane. And he got a ticket, and he got the ticket like for just a few hours later. He ran around, got his business affairs, so they're in capable hands. And he got on the plane. And in those days, when you came to India, they'd give you a small piece of like immigration arrival card. They call it arrival card. And it was tiny. You did have to have spectacles, even if you didn't need to wear them, just so you could see the writing. And you've got these little boxes, you fill in the boxes. And they give you this immigration card on the plane. And there it says visa number. And then this devotee, he was on the plane, and then he realized, I didn't get a visa to come to India. And so he was on the plane, and he's thinking, oh no, how am I going to get in? So anyway, he landed, and then they would not let him in. They wouldn't let him in, and he tried to explain, and he did explain, oh my Gurudev, he's just left the world and coming in, but they wouldn't let him in. Said, you have to go to somewhere and get a visa. Go to the nearest place is Bangladesh. So he was landed in Calcutta, then he went to Bangladesh on the next flight, which is only literally a 20-minute flight. The plane just takes off and lands. It doesn't even get very high in the sky. And anyway, takes off and lands. And he went there, but then it was a holiday in Bangladesh, and the embassy would be open for another 3 days or 2 days or whatever it was. The embassy wasn't going to be open. So he made a plan, and he flew back to Calcutta without a visa. And this time he went the Indian strategy of oiling the wheels to let him into, so they could come in. And the officers, he said, the officers, they were very kind. They were very kind, and they're looking through the book to see how they can give him a visa without them getting into trouble. Because okay, they're going to get something in their pocket, and he's a businessman, so he did have something to give them in their pocket. And but they don't want to, they can't break the law, as it were, otherwise they're going to be busted themselves. Anyway, they found that for emergencies of this kind, they can give a 72-hour pass, a 72-hour visa. So you have to be out of the country within 72 hours. And so the Prabhu, he was very happy. He's very happy. And he got that visa. He came straight to Navadip. And I don't think he slept for 1 minute in the 72 hours that he was in India. Maybe in the taxi going back to the airport or something, like maybe, when he wasn't in the temple. But in the temple, he had his time and he used it very carefully. And well, as you see, I remember that even at 3 o'clock in the morning, today in 2023. And it was an example of, it's not how much time we have, it's the proper use of that time. And he showed by just automatic, he wasn't like showing off or something, he just very intensely needed to be there. And we saw that, and I do remember that, and it's an example for us not to take time lightly. We don't know how much time we have. We must try to use it carefully. So like this, we are reminded of that when we see some of the devotees who are here for 72 hours or less, or more. But either way, they are appreciating being able to be around the devotees, being together with the family again. And we do have here Munindra Mohan Prabhu Krishna Kanta from Italy. And we do have here Keshavananda from Portsmouth, far off in the west of the country. And we do have Anjali, old-time devotee. I mean, really old-time devotee. She met Guru Mahārāj a long time ago. And Anjali and Śrīla from Salt Lake City. So they've all come in, and from around the country, so many people have come too. And it's not so easy to travel, especially because the day before was a rail strike. Thank you, Great Britain, for still keeping up the tradition of going on strike. So the railways were on strike. So people had some difficulty, some austerity to come. And anyway, we were just sharing some of this intensity. So I was just explaining that I'm not able to give Krishna Katha this morning because we were up until late, and we got up a little early this morning and seeing off the devotees. So let us start in the far east. Let us start in Ukai, because it's not every day we have Abhinava Sundar Prabhu and Kalikadambananda Devidasi with us. And so can we ask them kindly to say a word or two, or would you like a few minutes to get over the fact that I'm asking you? Would you like to say a word or two?
No, today, Mahārāj, Dandavats, even though it's definitely not something that we ever feel very comfortable doing, being on the camera and speaking, but today, well, should I start? First of all, Dandavats to all the devotees, so many special souls from around the mission that are here, and we haven't actually clicked through to see everybody, but it's a little embarrassing that we're speaking first. So offer our obeisances to everybody first. And just wanted to say to Praneshri Didi at the beginning, because she was glorifying everybody and their offerings that they made for today, Mahārāj's auspicious Vyāsa-Pūjā celebration.
Okay, Kelly, I want you to give some Krishna Katha. This is...
It will be. I'll attempt that. So we just want to give thanks to Praneshri Didi for, again, she's calling herself the MC, the milker of cows, and she has done that service again beautifully this year to inspire all the devotees and remind us all, please get your offerings in. And then she's pulled it all together and made another wonderful presentation to offer to you. And I'm absolutely not the person to be starting, but
obviously.
But Mahārāj, the thing is, today is a really joyous day for all of us, that we can express something from our hearts. And even though it's absolutely, for me, there's so much I feel, but I don't know, I don't have the ability to express it all in words. But I will say that Vyāsa-Pūjā is a time to celebrate and give honor and our appreciation to Guru, and whether that's our initiating Guru or the person in whom we feel that we can connect to the living current of our masters, then that person we want to give our whole selves to and our appreciation for. And the other side of it, I was thinking that like, it's not a small thing to be, and I think I was trying to express this to you before, like, it's not a small thing to be Guru, and it's not a small thing to be an Acharya in the lineage of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mott. And it's actually inconceivable how glorious that is and what a position that is to hold. And for us who can consider you our friend and well-wisher, it's kind of like how we hear that the devotees or the residents of Vrindavan, they kind of have some forgetfulness of their relationship with Krishna, that he's the supreme personality of Godhead, and they're relating to him as someone that's very dear, but almost somehow there's some covering of that hides who he really is. And sometimes I feel like, because you are so absolutely available to all of us and giving so much nourishment and affection to all, it's easy potentially for us to not just be struck over somehow at our inconceivable fortune that we have your shelter and your guidance, your protection, and we're just so extremely fortunate. I don't want to go on too long, but Mahārāj, this is a really wonderful day, and I know that you're tolerating having to sit here for our benefit today and hear all these things, but we have to. We can't help it. Anyways.
He's trying to bury now.
Abhinavasundar Prabhu, come to my rescue.
Well, I'm sorry, Mahārāj. I'll just probably, make it more difficult for you. But I wanted to, I've got many personal things which I can say to show my appreciation and affection for you. But I was just thinking before this morning about Gurudev, how he described the Mahananda flower blooming in all circumstances. Then we're seeing year after year that, and I was trying to find some kind of other analogy which might develop that idea further, but of course I have a puppy brain, so it didn't work very well. But anyway, the point is that as the time goes on, if there was something that the Mahananda flower did more than what it does normally, then that would be what you're doing. You're
right.
Continuing to progressively grow in ever new beautiful ways and provide shelter and nourishment for all of us. And personally, I just feel very blessed to have your association, and very grateful and happy. You know, I'll keep it short and sweet.
Abhinava Kalikarambana. I take it that you have spoken for everybody, and so I have heard what you have said. And Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, he was glorifying the flower, and it is an amazing flower that tolerates so many things. So he's shown that flower as an example for us all. And just sometimes we have to bring words that we eliminate from the dictionary back into the dictionary. So maybe just coincidence that anybody else had that name. So anyway, this is back to basics. And at least we can say this, that really the birthdays, the Vyāsa-Pūjā, if you see from this angle, but the birthdays of the masters, this, okay, can be honored. We are giving a happy birthday to everybody. But we are, our generation, we are all the way markers for the substance. And that substance is from those who have descended from the upper world, those who really have their 2 feet in the upper world.
I think we need to get Paramananda to come in and sort of stop you from talking, Mahārāj.
Even though it's perfect and wonderful.
We can't do this. No,
well, the thing is to have is it perspective? Everything in the right perspective. We need to have everything in the right perspective, because really it is the whole principle of hearing the guidance of our masters, where we receive that guidance from. We give honor there, but the master's guidance, the master's connection, this is what is coming into the world through our present generation. And somebody has to do that job. So, here we are. Krishna
do it very well.
Arranged that somehow our service actually just continues, because our service was always for connecting the devotees with Guru Mahārāj, connecting the devotees with Gurudev. And actually in ISKCON, our very, very young days in ISKCON, then what we're doing, connecting the devotees with Srila Prabhupada by the focus was Srila Prabhupada. The focus is Srila Prabhupada's books. The focus wasn't anywhere else. Yes, giving honor to those who are coming and sharing that. But the focus was to Srila Prabhupada. Our focus is to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Mahārāj, and Srila Gurudev. So we're always trying to give that opportunity, and sometimes the intermediate, when it's the letters and correspondence, messages like that. And when the devotees came to the mat, then we're finding the suitable time for the devotees, as you know, to come and meet Gurudev. So, this is what we're trying to do. We want you all to meet Gurudev. We want everyone to meet Guru Mahārāj.
And because you are giving Gurudev and Srila Guru Mahārāj to us, Mahārāj. And you know what? Dandi Mahārāj is here. Dandi Mahārāj is here. He came to see you. He came to say how much he appreciates and loves you.
Okay, well, you've passed on his message very nicely. Thank you very much. It's all appreciated. No, it's back to basics. We really need to make everyone, really to understand the substance of our lives. So the substance is above our heads, and we are all here together. We're a family together to try to know Gurudev, know Guru Mahārāj, and help each other to do that. Hare Krishna.
So, Mahārāj, this one of the basics is to honor Vaishnava. So we do not do anything wrong, because we honor the Vaishnava. It's the basic of our spiritual life. Everyone in the scriptures is written, you have to glorify Vaishnava. And we have a wonderful meeting yesterday with our Russian and Ukrainian devotees. all devotees from Russia, from Ukraine, and every devotee talked about some personal history related with you. It was so wonderful. Every devotee have so much love for you personally, because someone say, "Oh, I was in such a difficult condition of my spiritual life, but then I heard Madhusūdan Mahārāj, and then I was revived for my spiritual life. So some new light come to me. Some new inspiration come to me." And other devotee said, I need personal example of spiritual life, and certainly I found this example in Śrīla Madhusūdan Mahārāj, and I'm happy that I have such a nice example, and so many devotees, and all those devotees say that actually they feel that Śrīla Guru Mahārāj, Śrīla Gurudev connection present in the Śrīla Madhusūdan Mahārāj. That is main point of our glorification. So many, of course, it's so many ceremonies everywhere in this world. Some winner ceremonies, award ceremonies, etc. But this glorification of Vaishnava is something much more substantial, related to spiritual world. So this spiritual world sent you some review from you, this very wonderful opportunity for us to show, to connect to this world. So it's yes, it's so for many devotees. It's not my personal opinion. I'm sorry to say. Of course, it's my opinion also, but it's not only my personal opinion. So many devotees say, and we cannot reject the opinion of so many wonderful devotees. And certainly, it is so. This substance of Śrīla Gurudev mercy, Śrīla Guru Mahārāj mercy is present there. And it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful that we have such a senior Vaishnavas like you. So please, Mahārāj, do not take seriously our imperfectness, our maybe offenses. So because you are only hope that we still connect with spiritual world. So then die. Śrīla Madhusūdan Mahārāj, die.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mahārāj.
And my Dandavat Maharaj, of course, you joined us after the little beginning part where we were giving our obeisances, and to everyone else who's joined, and I do see devotees have joined in the meantime, to all of you who joined us, then of course my obeisances, and I would like to welcome you all in with a flower garland. And actually just now, as the devotees left, we're still trying to follow the tradition, and I searched for 2 prasad flowers and gave to the 2 devotees who left just now. So this is my happy duty, to welcome devotees and to wish them a safe journey and constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Gurudev and Guru Mahārāj. So thank you, Mahārāj.
And Mahārāj, my duty today is to bring the devotees to your feet, Mahārāj. And here is Vrindavaneshwari. She wants to say something to you.
My apologies to the Brazilian devotees I did mention yesterday evening. Something else happened, so I wasn't able to be with you on the Brazilian Zoom, but I did notice that many of you were there in the other thing that happened yesterday. And hence we didn't actually have a dedicated Brazil Zoom, but we're happy to see so many of you here yesterday and also today, in our yesterday, in our today. Yes, Vrindavaneshwari, what are you going to say about Gurudev and Guru Mahārāj?
Dandavat Gurudev. And again, I'll never know what to wish. for someone like Gurudev. But I got this answer just today. Listen to Bhakti Lalita Devidasi. And she talks about that you don't need nothing about this word. And I only know mundane things. So I could never wish something appropriate for you. So I will talk about his miracles, your miracles. After having spent a few days in his sweet presence, between going from one city to another here in Brazil, I was away from him for 24 hours. And even thought I knew I was going to see him, to see Gurudev, the next day. I had what I think was an anxiety attack. I felt completely lost. They say I'm anxious, but besides disagreeing that, I swear I never felt like this. But in the re-encounter with Gurudev, I was able to have a very special moment talking with him. And he even made me understand the meaning of some unpleasant situations that I went through. And then on the day we said goodbye, and I don't even know when or if I'll ever be able to be in his presence again. But at that goodbye, I was just calm and totally in control, totally happy. And how do I know that this whole experience was spiritual? Because it changed me. And now, and not just me, but my whole family environment has benefited. So this was his miracle in me. Thank you, Gurudev.
His miracle in you, Gurudev's miracle, Guru Maharaj's miracle, the miracle of Mahaprabhu's divine message. Anyway, beautiful Vrindavaneshri, very kind of you to share these things. And the Lord, He's behind everything, you know that. So we're happily with you. And I think everybody here knows that our time in Brazil was very much kind of similar to the time of the devotee who came to Navadip for 72 hours and then used his moments very carefully. And all the devotees and myself in their association, we were trying to use our time all the time very nicely with each other. So we had special days in Brazil. Everyone was very kind, and we met lots of people, did lots of things, and tried to reach to the public reaching, people reaching, this new expansion of the word preaching by Chintamani, who is often with us on Back to Basics, and who was also seeing off the devotees just now. She may be with us. I do not know. I don't immediately see her little.
Go to Haribol, go to Haribol from the office.
You're in the office. I don't see you on my screen, but I did hear you on my loudspeaker. A little loud. Okay, Chintamani Devidasi, your people reaching. So in Brazil, we did try to people reach to the public, as well as, of course, the family, to be with the family. And actually, Srila Gurudev, he would say, he not only would say, he said, wherever I go, I am going to see my friends and their families. So this was Gurudev's, and of course their friends, families and their friends. So this was Gurudev's mood of going around the world and trying to do good for whoever he met. And we want to continue that. That shouldn't stop, but it's in their name. It's not in our name, it's in their name. Yes, I still can't see Chintamani, but we know she's around. You see, we can't see the Lord, but we can hear his holy names and know he's around. So she's mysteriously on our screen with sound. Yes. All right. I'm a little cautious to say, well, does anyone have any questions?
Maybe it's not a question, but Ganga Lila is next.
Dhanyavad, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna to you. I just wanted to pay my obeisance to Praneshwari. She pulled me. She said, "You want to say something?" I'm like, "Yes, of course. I want to torture you some more with my praise. But it's not like that. It's from my heart to your heart. I have been taking the tone of your voice, the tone of your Hari Katar is weaving into my life really sweetly and nicely. So much about Guru Maharaj is coming to my heart because of your love is so obvious, and you are so, for me, I can hear the words. They make me feel the love and dedication, and that's really, really powerful for me. And so it's like you've become my favorite narrator in that way of words which are really beyond my capacity to understand, but they are really becoming guides and companions of my everyday life. And I want to thank you very much. I'm very lucky to be here, and it's like I said, it's really, it's like almost like a rhythm and a music also for me to come regular and have not only your presence, but on the Zooms, but really in my daily life. And I can even hear the tone of voice, and it really helps me to deal with what's hard out there in the world. So, and that is a lot. I need that. I need a little vibrational atmosphere inside of myself I can recall and call upon. And yes, it has manifested. I didn't even know I wanted this, but I really do. Hare Krishna. I hope it wasn't too much.
Yeah,
I also want Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much.
That's why,
thank you.
And that's why I'm always encouraging devotees to listen to Gurudev and to listen to Guru Maharaj, see their videos, understand their nature, listen to Srila Prabhupada, understand his nature. We hear and see, we hear recordings and we see videos of Srila Prabhupada, and we know he's super sweet. When through him we came to Guru Maharaj, and his books we know by the sound of the reading, like hearing his nature coming through his books before we ever heard his voice also. And that sweetness of Srila Prabhupada is there, of Srila Guru Maharaj is there, of Srila Gurudev is there. And this is why we are rich today, to be able to hear and to be present in their direct conversations. And like you say, hearing the voice, it is very important. So anyway, if there's a little bit we can do, I can happily say, I can say happily, I can say I am happy, whether I'm happy to say it, but yes, but I can say I am definitely a happy reader of Guru Maharaj, a happy reader of Gurudev, of Srila Prabhupada. I'm a very happy reader of their words and their books. And in the sense of, we can all read, but I feel very much when we are reading that, here we are, we're just being like, we're relaying their message. And when we're reading in a class, then, in a class, whether we call it even a class, when we're reading in our gatherings, which, every morning, every evening, devotees come together, and which also take it in turns. But when we're reading, also sometimes we're rereading a sentence and we're rereading a phrase. It's not just a case of trying to read to the end of the chapter or something like that. We want to hear our master's voice. And by the way, I was crossing London the other day. It's quite a big city to cross. Oh yes, not as crazy as Sao Paulo. you win. You got a bigger city to cross there. But I was crossing London, and then I saw whether it's a factory. Well, it must have been a factory, but I saw the big building. His Master's Voice, HMV. And I don't know if you have that around the world, but it is in India, this company, and HMV is a electronics company which started out, at least some of their products, was a record player. Some of you know what is a record player, right? Those bits of plastic, flat, you put them, they're round and put on a turntable, all those things. Anyway, the record player, they made record players. And there is their icon, their trademark. Gurudev liked, Srila Gurudev liked their trademark. And it was the old record player with the turntable, the loudspeaker, and the dog, a happy looking dog, looking down the loudspeaker with his head on one side. And the theme was, now the dog can hear his master's voice coming out of this record player. And so Gurudev liked that. And I saw the factory here 2 or 3 days ago when we were crossing London, his master's voice, and immediately remembering Gurudev. And this idea that we will want to hear, we'll be so happy to hear our master's voice. So in this world, we can hear Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And so please, everyone try to have that as part of our daily diet. And in the books, we can hear them through their guidance and through their exact words right there. Hare Krishna.
Dear Mahārāj, we have a lineup. Here is Anu Krishna next to you.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavats Gurudev, Dandavats everyone. It's such an honor to be here amongst you. And I feel like we are kind of torturing you because you are
I also feel that, yes.
So we are very sorry, but we can't help it. It's so nice to be here and talk to you and say to you how important you are, because you gave us the most important things to many of us here, to all of us here. And as I said previously, and whenever I hear you, Gurudev, I hear Śrīla Sridhar Mahārāj, because you always said that he had this sweet and deep voice, and your voice is sweet and deep, and every time we hear you, we hear them. We hear Śrīla Guru Mahārāj and Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj. So it is an honor to be here amongst everyone. And your being here was so incredible. I still can't believe it. And you sharing your coconut water with Bruno was one of the sweetest moments I've ever seen. And everything that you do is sweet. And the greatest gift that you gave us was each other. And I have each other. We have each other here. And it's thanks to you, because you gave us something to be united for. And this is the greatest thing that I can ever imagine to receive. And when you left, I think many of us here got a little lost. We were trying to be each other all the time, with each other all the time. And then I came home and I'm alone, and I had nobody to cook for. And I was, what should I do? I have nobody to cook for, only to myself. And then I remembered that I have to cook for the deities at my altar here. And so everything made sense. And every time I go to the street to walk my dog, I just go on looking for flowers to bring here to my altar. So you gave sense to everything, every daily thing that I do every day. To walk my dog. Now you gave me more to do, to bring flowers to my altar here. So you gave us everything through Srila Govinda Mahārāj, through Srila Sridhar Mahārāj. And this is something that we cannot express in words. So thank you very much. Thank you to everyone here to be part of this with me.
Jai Hare Krishna. Thank
It's
you for
Śrīla
expressing.
It's Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur in particular. You know that we emphasize this. It's Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur in particular who showed how we can do everything in our regular life in Krishna consciousness. And so we're trying to highlight a little bit there. And that book, Sharanagati, I think by now everybody has gone through that book. The chapters do end sometimes with high verses. Those high verses we just worship and just understand well, that is there, but it's a little above our capacity at the moment, but to know it is there. But there are so many verses which are expressing, like you are expressing, how to make our everyday life centered on the Lord. And it is it looks like a small thing, but it's a big difference for our consciousness and the reality that our life is for Krishna and everything is for Krishna. And we can do that in such a practical way. And Gurudev, so practical about how everybody can be engaged in service by consciousness. And Gurudev bringing Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teachings to literally into the 21st century. So wonderful.
Mahārāj, and here is the U.S. representation. Mary Ann is here.
Mary Ann, a fortunate mother of a devotee who's getting Agyata Sukriti and then Gyata Sukriti, knowingly now doing things to engage in devotional service. The fruit of the tree being offered to the Lord, the tree is getting so much benefit. So not to say you're a tree, but your fruit is coming to already been serving for so long in so many ways, substantially. Bilva Mangal Prabhu in California.
Thank you, Mahārāj. And Dandavats, pranams. I feel a bit inadequate to even speak at this point, but I want to honor your wishes in relating back to Guru Mahārāj and Goswami Mahārāj, whom, of course, I never had the privilege of meeting personally, but through you and through the books, I feel that I am coming to know them. And I just want to share that my daughter-in-law, Vaidehi, was initiated by Govinda Mahārāj. And I got to really see a beautiful thing today about this lineage being carried on through the family. And that was pictures of my darling little granddaughter, Karuna, who is 6, making a garland for Balaram and chanting to Balaram. And it was the most beautiful garland. And they took it to the Sokel temple and it is on the deities there. So as an offering to you and a reminder that you are doing so much to keep this alive in all of us, I'm going to send you those pictures.
Hare Krishna. Beautiful. 6-year-old making a garland which comes onto the deities in Sokel. Beautiful.
And some of the flowers were grown by Bilva, the dahlias. So
Oh, dahlias, the big flowers, yes.
Yeah, he's got these big white ones and then some scarlet colored ones, and they're worked into her garland very beautifully.
That must be a bigger garland than I was imagining. So a big garland.
Yes.
By the way, many thanks, Marianne. Very, very kind of you.
Thank you so much.
And Dana, by the way, she sent that logo, the picture of his HMV, his master's voice. So if you skip the other picture that somebody sent, just above that, there's, twice. She's sent it twice. I see it is there. The gramophone. Yeah, gramophone. All right. Record player. And there's this dog looking inside the gramophone. This Gurudev liked. And Gurudev said of himself, he said, I'm a one master dog. He's here.
And Mahārāj actually Dana is next in the lineup.
Dana, Well, we'll be happy to hear from you, Dana, and we'll be very happy to meet you when that opportunity comes.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I'm holding that in my heart, because I would love that with all of my heart to just be with you, to be with all the devotees, and just give you all a big giant hug. I'm so grateful for you. You have no idea how much you have come into my life and brought so much light. I've been really having a hard couple years here, and I mean this with all of my heart. Like, you and your Zooms and your association and your teachings and your love and your compassion, all of it has literally saved my life. And I don't say that lightly. And I can still remember the first time coming to this 10 o'clock Zoom, and I was like, oh, 10 o'clock, I'm so tired, I don't know if I'll be able to. And then when I got there, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have to keep coming back, because it felt like home. And it was, you really helped me to feel like I was part of the family. And what I've learned from you and what I continue to learn from you has inspired me and has kept me moving on this journey that's incredible. And so many people have shared so many things that I completely it resonates with how the experience that I've had as well. And it's incredible. And I'm so grateful every single day. I'm so grateful for you. And I wish there was more words I could say. I wish there was some way I could show you. And I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for everyone here. And I'm grateful to be a part of this family. And I hope that very, very soon I get to see you all and meet you all. And I'm just grateful. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Dana knows, and we all know, life is worth living for. Life is worth living. It has its very great value. And this human life, it really has so much value that, so many, they pray from other planets to take birth here as a human at this time. The animals, they look at the humans and they're wondering, what are these humans doing? Because the animals, actually in Śrīla Prabhupada's purport, said animals are generally envious of the humans. They're looking and they're saying, oh, they can exploit better than we can, some idea like this, and they're feeling vulnerable. But when we've got our human body, in particular, this is the very time to wake up to the great opportunity that this birth has given. So Dana also knows that life is worth living for. There is something now that we've got that's worth living for. And that gave myself and so many of the devotees around the world, when we saw the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we thought, okay, now we don't have just some wishy-washy ideas of trying to do something good in a world which is, basically out of control. If you look at it, it is, as we say about winter, now the winter is coming, the Kali Yuga is coming. You can't stop all of those things, but we can make our own life in the proper direction. So this valuable life, everybody please chant Hare Krishna without offense. Learn the 10 offenses and avoid them. So I hope that by now, on Back to Basics, everybody has learnt the 10 offenses and that you are avoiding them. Please help me to avoid them too. Hare Krishna.
Mahārāj, we have Jai Gauranga next to you. And then I invited everyone, but not everyone read the messages. So last call for Australia after Jai Gauranga to see if Rupanuga wants to say a word. And then we go to see Manikanta in Thailand.
Okay, good. I mean, good, we can come to see everybody, but there we are. But Manikanta, yes, we look forward to hearing a word or two from Manikanta. She's been a devotee like forever. And so we're very happy to be able to have her with us today too. Jai Gauranga Prabhu.
Mahārāj, Dandavat. Mahārāj, I would like to preface this by saying I'm not very good at speaking in front of people, so I'll try to not say something too embarrassing and too stupid. Mahārāj, I really can't express how much you mean to me. You're my you know, I'm here because of you, by your grace. I'm serving here by your grace, and you know, I really don't know where I would be if I didn't have you, because your guidance, your protection, your nourishment. I really feel, you know, I don't have any other option, any other use of my life but to serve you and to serve Gurudev and Guru Mahārāj and Śrīla Prabhupada. And thank you for accepting me as your disciple. Please keep me close to your feet and engaged in your service. And Jai. Śrīla Bhakti Ranja Madhusūdan Mahārāj Tadi Abhibhav Mahamahotsav Vatiyasi Ki Jai. Śrīla Bhakti Ranja Madhusūdan Mahārāj Ki Jai.
Jai.
The reality is that Jai Gauranga Prabhu, he got mercy, but he got mercy from the devotees who were around him and the devotees who came and met when we came to New Zealand. And through their mercy, then they saw a bright, young, sincere teenager. You were 16 or 17. And when you came and your mum, she said, oh, okay, when you're 18, you can do what you like, but now you're under my care. But then the devotees, they gave Jai Gauranga Prabhu that opportunity to come from New Zealand to Australia to serve in the Dham so that he'll get a good foundation in his life. And so through his humility and sincerity, the devotees gave their grace to him. And when the devotees give their grace to him, I have to listen a little bit and think, well, here we are. We have sometimes some service to do for the sincere seekers. So this way, Jai Gauranga Prabhu was recognized by the devotees, given opportunity to come to Govinda Dham, and continuing now. And how old are you now? 53 years old. You've been there a long time in Govinda Dham, right? He came almost on his 18th birthday. Okay, I'm free. And now his mum, is your mum coming to Thailand?
No, Mahārāj, she couldn't come. She really wants to, but some things came up and it wasn't possible. But next year, hopefully.
You see, so now Jai Gauranga Prabhu influencing his mum, and his mum, maybe please let her know she can chant Hare Krishna. Everybody can chant Hare Krishna. Everybody can take shelter of the holy name of the Lord. And then where that holy name will take us, then we must try to be ready to go where the name will take us. Okay, I have an alarm coming up. I have an alarm coming up because it's the end of the program. Okay, yes.
Yes, and for the end we have here Manikanta and Paramananda Prabhu Mahārāj.
We do indeed. Dandavat to you both. Manikanta Devi, Dasi.
Mahārāj, please accept my humble obeisances. So yesterday we were on the road from Chiang Mai to Bangkok, and actually I was searching the pictures, and first I have a special map. The first time I met you, exactly 12 years ago from now, in Vrindavan, so Paramananda introduced me to you. And then I was telling Paramananda about how you came in Antwerp 5 years ago. And my situation was like a disaster with my daughter. But when you came, everything was like harmonized, like perfect. Everything becomes perfect. And all the problems of, and it was really heavy problems. So it was like, okay, it actually doesn't matter. It's coming, it's going, it's something temporary. But you brought something, yeah. Say it. Sorry, my English is so bad. Что-то настоящее и подлинное, вечное.
Something real, substantial, and eternal.
Yes. So, and we remember with Advitiya, we're speaking also a lot about you and some difficult situation. We like asking ourselves what Mahārāj would suggest us, and so thank you.
Krishna Priya Devi Dasi quietly sitting here too. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
I'm good listener, Mahārāj. I'm not good speaker.
I would like to be a good listener myself, but here I am.
Only thing I
Making
can say, Mahārāj, to you, observe nature, and you do show a very good example. It's like I want to telling everyone you're like my GPS right now. Anywhere you want to go, put Madhusūdan Mahārāj's name. And then you will see all the results. The way to Guru Mahārāj, the way to Guru Dev. Now very strongly, like you nail it, Mahārāj. That's what I want to tell. That is my Dandavad.
Hare Krishna.
Devotional GPS.
Hare Krishna.
So it's back to basic, isn't it?
Gurudev,
Chant Hare Krishna.
Paramananda and Sangha. GPS. Gurudev, Paramananda, Sangha.
We've been talking a lot about theory on BBBC. Every time we talk about theory and then we have to practice at home. Today was one of those BBBC when we actually practiced something. And nicely expressed by Śrīla Govinda Mahārāj, one of the main principles of practicing our religion, glorifying the Vaishnava. And I can see that those 200 plus BBBCs, maybe it's already coming to 300. They actually
354.
300.
I'm 54.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I know it's embarrassing, Mahārāj, I know. At the same time, and I feel sorry for you. I have some feelings, trust me, believe me. But at the same time, I don't have. Because behind you, there's Govinda Mahārāj and Śrīla Guru Mahārāj. So through you, we're actually glorifying them. Clearly saying that. Really. And since Manikanta Didi just mentioned how she met you in Vrindavan, she approached me and she said, I really want to see a pure devotee of the Lord. Can you please? She had some faith crisis. Can you please recommend? I said, oh, you could have asked me a little earlier because it was right after Govinda Mahārāj disappeared. And then I thought for a while and I said, actually, yes. Yes, I know one. And through him, you're going to get both connections. You will get connection with the living devotee, and you will get connection with the devotee who is present but not visible at the moment, who is Govinda Mahārāj. So then I said, come with me to Vrindavan. True?
Yes.
She's confirming I'm not telling you legends or fairy tales and lies. And then we found a very humble Vaishnava, humbly living in a small room in our Vrindavan temple. Practically unknown. His location were known to a very few at that time. And that was Mahananda Bhaktiranjan. And that's when Manikanta Didi met you for the first time, and we remember that beautiful Govardhan Parikrama. Here you go. So, yes, Mahārāj, you're not going to talk your way out of this. Let me say,
okay. Okay. I'll sit back then.
Yes, exactly. And really, every moment, like I was telling the devotees, anytime I want to contact Guru Mahārāj or Gurudev especially, I had no direct connection with Guru Mahārāj, but Gurudev, I would ask you, and you can tell me, you can tell them that's true. Ask him what he thinks about it. And you would always answer, I will. And I'm taking those answers as if they were coming directly from Srila Govinda Mahārāj. I have zero doubt that they're coming from him. So this is my vision, and this is what I see and hear when you speak or when you're present. And there's one small story. And as you know, Govinda Mahārāj didn't do anything or said anything whimsically. Everything had a meaning. It could be a humorous remark to us at that time, but actually it had a very deep meaning and a lot of substance in that. So I remember that story when you're driving him and then you're stopping somewhere on the traffic or on a red light. And then, you know, the Indians would come up and they would just start saying, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then Govinda Mahārāj would say, oh, Yang Haradharshana Mukhi Aisi Krishna Nam. Reciting that verse by Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami. Oh, just by your presence, you inspire those people to chant Hare Krishna. And that verse is actually Mahaprabhu's answers to the residents of Kulinagram when they're approaching him and constantly asking, so how can we recognize the Vaishnava? Who is the Vaishnava? And this is the last answer. He's saying the one who inspires just by his presence to chant the names of the Lord. He is the highest, he's the topmost Vaishnava. And you must take his shelter. So Gurudev was reciting that verse and saying, look, they're seeing you and they're chanting Hare Krishna. You are a Vaishnava. And to you, it maybe sounded as a humorous remark. And who knows, but for Govinda Mahārāj, yes, Mahārāj, you will have something to say. Yes, I promise. But to us, another Vaishnava can recognize a Vaishnava. So there's a lot of significance in that. It's a small thing, maybe, but there's a lot of significance to it. Anyhow, Mahārāj, I will keep quiet now. Your turn.
Okay, so as Paramanandru pointed out, I was directly there when Gurudev said that. So it's not that I'll learn about the incident from someone else, because I was driving Gurudev. We were stopped and Gurudev did say that shloka. But that was his humility of deflecting from the people seeing him and chanting Hare Krishna. And he was deflecting that to the fallen soul driving the car. And the fallen soul driving the car did point that out to Gurudev. And Gurudev very humbly, just smiling probably. But anyhow, I was there during that incident. Very sweet. And Gurudev was so sweet always. And many things happened. We learned from Gurudev while driving him, and so many things we learned. And now there you are, Paramananda, you're in the car with the devotees. Everything we can learn. We can learn from everything, rather. We can learn from everything. And it's Gurudev's example that in every situation, he was Guru Maharaj conscious, he was Krishna conscious, he was only Seva conscious. This was Gurudev's whole nature. And we drove him many times, means Gurudev accepted our service as a driver. And then we also feel fortunate we had that opportunity to drive him. It may sound like, oh, very small thing, but it was a very responsible thing also. But that Gurudev was happy with that, and we are very pleased. Any service that Gurudev is happy, and we must think, okay, some good fortune for us, but a good fortune, responsible service. 2 hands on the wheel, taking care at every moment, more valuable than having a whole car full of gold bullion or millions of dollars in the car. More valuable was Gurudev, and was very aware of it all the time. So many things when we have that opportunity to serve. Anyway, dear devotees, it is back to basics, and I don't know what the number was that Praneshri said. 353, was it?
354.
354th. And that's the Zoom back to basics. Don't
Yes.
forget, we were doing back to basics in person, as it were. I mean, this all originates from Navadip, and still I do think of our back to basics in Navadip. Oh, please don't put my picture there.
Mahārāj, it's just that I couldn't read it because it was too small. So I had to enlarge it, but it says, Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhaktiranjan Madhusūdan Mahārāj Ki Jai. Today is a great celebration of our good fortune. Good fortune to all who are fortunate enough to hear you, see you, serve you, and just know about you. And this was shared by our dear Dandi Mahārāj. So he can tell us who prepared this.
He can tell us what?
Who made this poster?
Actually, I do not know who was maybe exactly, but it was from Villa Govinda.
Okay, there you are.
Villa Govinda.
There you are, Mahārāj. It's coming from home. So don't feel uncomfortable.
Anyway, dear devotees, I mean, we appreciate the expression of you all in remembrance of Gurudev and Guru Mahārāj. And if you do have any regard, or you think anything we say makes any sense, then at least this part, try to keep attention, that we must keep our attention and focus to Gurudev, to Guru Mahārāj, and wherever we find some encouragement to hear more about them, to feel their mood and their nature. And we should try to go there, take the good from everywhere. And there's always mixture in the world, there's always mistakes in the world, we're subject to making mistakes, etc. But we must try to take the good everywhere. And Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Mahārāj, Srila Prabhupada, in our immediate world shelter, they've given us everything. And through their affection, through their generosity, through their giving up everything, I mean, of this world, they're having nothing to do with this world, only wanting to spread Mahaprabhu's sweet message. Like this idea of if we taste something sweet, then we want to share that. Not that we want to go out and get more and more of these sweets and I just keep for myself. But when we taste something sweet, we must share that. And we definitely had sweet association, and that in our lifetime was directly Guru Mahārāj and Gurudev, and we want to share that sweet with you all, with everyone. And as we said very early on, that, you know, maybe you did not meet, I mean, you didn't meet, most of you, Gurudev or Guru Mahārāj, but you really can meet them through their instruction and by following their mood, regularly hearing from them. And as Gurudev would always say about Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj disappeared, he did not depart. And Gurudev, similarly, we can say very clearly, disappeared and did not depart. And many incidents where we understand and feel it. After all, we did almost obliterate the word coincidence from the dictionary, and there are just too many of those things that take place for us to ignore, that the hand of Gurudev, the seeing of Gurudev is very present in this world now. So please be connected, be happy. Jahara dashane mukhe aishe Krishna nama tahare janiha tumi Vaishnava param. Mahaprabhu said, a first-class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. Yes. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Sach Vaishnava, Jai Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Mahārāj Ki Jai, Sach Vaishnava, Jai Om Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rokkok Sridharadev Goswami Mahārāj Ki Jai, and Sach Vaishnava, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, and Sach Vaishnava, Bhagavan Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Gaura Kishore Babaji Mahārāj Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Satchitananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāj ki jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shad Goswami, 6 Goswamis ki jai. And Jai, present day, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. The Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled, I know, devotees ki jai. And Sannyasi section, Shri Padandi Mahārāj and all Sannyasigan ki jai. To Paramananda Prabhu and to all of our long-time devotees and to all of our new devotees. Once in the family, you are also all long-time devotees. Once we're in the family, we're in the family. But we've always been in the family and in the family forever. So to all of you, all over the world, and to Olya, Udaran Prabhu, Krishna Saki Dedi joined us a little later on, so very happy to have you with us, and Lynn, and
Priya Bhakta is here, Mahārāj, first time.
Okay, well, Priya Bhakta and was also on the Facebook. We saw, so he's in 2 places.
Yes.
Jai Priya Bhakta Prabhu. And Gaurangi Devirasi, she's sending hearts and all good things. All right, very beautiful. And Jai is okay on Facebook. And Tungarasa, she's here. Oh, Tungarasa came from Norway. She's here also for a few hours, as it were, in London, also utilizing the time very nicely. And everybody's also got work. So going back to work today, Sunday, she's back at work tomorrow, Monday, in Oslo, Norway, which you may think is a cold place. But when it was 9 degrees here a couple of days ago, it was 28 degrees in Norway, Oslo. So then we have to think the world is not as we think it is. All right, dear devotees, appreciating everything very much from all of you and everything that you said. Honestly, it is all for Gurudev, all for Guru Mahārāj. You know that, but you've been doing your duty and expressing things in your ways. So from beginning to end, starting with Abhinavasundara Prabhu, Kelly Kadamba, all the way through, all the devotees who said something and who didn't say something but are present. And I know that if there was a chance, you'd be saying some things probably to embarrass me. But to all of you, appreciation. You do know it is all for Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. Without them, we would be absolutely nowhere. And last night, I don't think our program here was broadcast, but a sweet program here in the temple. And really, it was recognizing that we are nowhere without Srila Prabhupada, without Srila Guru Maharaj, without Srila Gurudev. All 3 of them, I can say in my case, that without each, then we'll be nowhere. So all credit is theirs, and whatever we're able to share, it is theirs. All glories to our Sri Guru Varga ki jai. Panchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Shri Bhakti Raja Madhusūdan
ki
Jai.
Okay, dear devotees, with all heart and best wishes, may they look on you very graciously, and may your lives each be successful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mahārāj. And many of them wrote beautiful, beautiful offerings for you. You had them in your email.
Oh, okay. What's email? Oh, that's old-fashioned thing that was it. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I will check the email. And by the way, I know some of you, I know many of you perhaps have written some things. It may take me a few moments to give appreciation individually to all. So please, everything's appreciated. I'll do my best to be better. Okay, I'll do my best to try and be better. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Dando. Ami Astri, I'm definitely Ami Astri. Okay, Dando.
Thank you, Mahārāj. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was so sweet, so sweet. I thought he was going to be a little bit more at ease because he endured 2 hours in the Russian program. And I said, okay, now he has his vaccine, he will be okay for BBBC. But he's so humble. It's so difficult for him to digest. But we cannot stop doing this. This is so needed in our hearts. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Hare Krishna.